there, my name is Dr. Katrina Cox and I'm a naturopathic doctor and the author of The Opportunity in Cancer. I'd like to talk to you today about our third video about body movement. And the big theme in this video is about the long-term focus. How do we get perseverance and consistency, and why is that important? A lot of people will come and they'll ask me, how much do I have to actually work out, or how often do I have to go to the gym, or what's actually the cutoff point? And so what I tell people is that the studies differ about how much. Some of them look at 20 minutes a day, for example, and others look at 150 to 300 minutes a week cut up into different times. But what is seen is it doesn't matter whether it's low intensity, things like walking and Tai Chi and yoga, or higher intensity exercises, all types of body movement have shown benefit for cancer survivors. And more importantly, all of the studies have shown that consistency over the long run is more important than anything else. And so whether it's 20 minutes a day or whether it's 500 minutes a week, ultimately doing it for 12 weeks consecutively or a year consecutively have shown the actual benefit. So what does this really mean? Because as a survivor, if we just get through treatment, it can be exhausting to start to incorporate an exercise plan. And the recovery can seem like it takes a really long time. This happened to me recently. I saw this happen to my dad, actually. And so my dad is a cancer survivor, as many of you know if you've read my book. And there have been moments in his life where he has not been, able to physically move. The pandemic was a very obvious thing for him. We were locked down. We weren't able to go to the gyms. We weren't able to do things. And in the winter, my dad doesn't have a lot of physical activity. He likes to sit in his chair. He's 70 plus and he watches his movies and his shows and after the pandemic happened and things shut down, he was not able to get out of a chair. He was having to use all of his muscles. His knees were weak. He was getting back pain. And this was a part of this process. And there was a lot of fear about him having cancer reoccurrence. And I kept telling everyone around us, it wasn't cancer. It's literally just lack of movement. And so we had to think hard at creating a movement plan that he was able to be consistent with. And interestingly enough, after 12 weeks of him consistently, just twice a week, for 45 minutes a time, he was able to no longer have difficulty getting out of a chair. He was able to walk the way he was normal, and he could climb the ladders that he was normally used to climbing. And so that really showed me how important it is to be able to step into thriving and really make consistency important. And that, to me, brought in, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but there is what we call a perseverance model. And what it is we have to create a culture. We have to create a culture that allows for us, or create a life that allows for us to have body movement on a regular basis. We also have to cultivate the things that we love. And so we have to consider, how do we cultivate, our body movement plan that actually engages us? And more importantly, the last one, and the thing that I think is the most important, is we have to celebrate. We have to reward. What are we rewarding ourselves with in order to be able to get that consistency? What is it that we feel? Some people like the reward on a daily basis. Other people need to work towards a goal. And so if you are able to engage in creating a life that allows for body movement on a regular basis, cultivate the things that you like in your life for your body movement, and celebrate your wins, you're going to actually see this perseverance come through. And that dedication and consistency over the long haul is very, very important. And so I'm going to leave with you with a few tips. Number one, listening to yourself. Having compassion for where you're at is the most important thing. Starting somewhere. Comparison to the old you, comparison to, somebody else in their cancer recovery journey. Comparison is just not a game that we should be playing. We need to understand where we're at and listen to ourselves and have compassion for where we're at. Number two, find an accountability partner. Is it your spouse? Is it a friend? Is it your sister? Are they on the phone with you? I mean, that's one of the amazing things that the pandemic really highlighted for me, was that we can still connect even if we can't be in each other's spaces. Does it feel better to be walking with our friend beside us? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that we can't find those accountability partners in another way. The third thing is understanding that perseverance is the long game. This is not something that you win or lose in a short period of time. This is something that you have to keep coming back. And that's where that create and cultivate and celebrate really come in, because then we get to know and be more aware of where we're at. The last one is understand that you should have compassion for yourself. Compassion that not every day is going to be a great day. And that's a really big thing that I had to struggle with, because I understood as a retired varsity athlete that if it wasn't an hour, it wasn't worth doing. And I had to actually change that, because I didn't have an hour. And so I was sacrificing my workouts and my body movement plan just because I couldn't find an hour. And that seemed silly, because a half an hour would do. If I could at least move my body a half an hour, I was still winning. And I had to sell myself that. And so I think you can do the same by just understanding more about yourself and putting together something that has a longer plan, and that you're able to find your perseverance. So good luck with finding your perseverance. Read more in my book, The Opportunity in Cancer, in order to connect with yourself. Get the workbook if you can and fill it out. And most importantly, get on our mailing list, because we have a really great retreat that's coming up this spring that we'd love for you to join us. We'll see you soon.